enjoy the clip, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Hey everybody, Bigfoot here. I'm going to be removing the ceiling fan, as you just heard me saying, filming with my GoPro. So I've already marked all my lines on where my main hotline, my main home run line is coming from. But I still, when I do stuff like this, this is like this whole half of this house is on the same breaker, and I'm not going to kill the breaker to take a ceiling fan out. So I'll just be careful with my wires. And if at any given point I feel like I need to kill a breaker, I'll kill the breaker. But one thing to keep in mind on these old homes especially on this home, whoever wired this house, I think they're either an electrical genius or a complete and total idiot. I'm going to go with the prior. And the way that they've wired things, I've noticed in some other rooms, it's like it doesn't really make sense based on previous homes that I've done electrical work on, and it was more modernized electrical. Because I've got a hotline coming in, but this also feeds outlets and another outdoor light over here, and then it runs off to a switch to that wall that gives power to this fan. So power comes in, and then it's probably, if it's done the way I've seen more modern electrical, it's probably just all tied together under one hotline through to the switch. But nonetheless, it's just good to be careful. Obviously, don't touch two wires at one time, and preferably don't touch any wires, exposed wires at all. So, but I'm going to remove the hot wire coming in, and then mark it and then cap it once I get the ceiling fan out of the way. And that way I don't have to worry about any of the other circuits where the conduit's coming in and out. And I just realized there's another outlet that I didn't have marked, which it's right here. Outlets. I'm just labeling them just so I don't have to continue to think about it as I'm getting into it at all. So here we go. Let's see here. I'm going to get an extension, start my time lapse on my GoPro time lapse mode. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. We're on the road to 500 and then 1,000 subscribers. And then after that, 1 million. So help us out if you enjoy this type of content. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Span's pretty short, so I can get some of these screws pretty easy. I think that screw's a goner. Yeah, that's a goner. It's an old dusty fan here. I should be able to just plug that unit. And then I should be able to get to my ceiling fan blades. Today's not my day when it comes to holding on to screws. You're kidding me. Gosh. I think this tip is slightly magnetized. I don't think it normally is either. Somehow it got magnetized. It's throwing me off a little bit. I like to pull the blades off and out of the way. Just less crap to deal with once I get main body. Loosened off. And I'll be able to get that housing out of the way without it hanging down, hitting the fan blades and stuff. That looked like it was a nail. It just fell down. So I was just able to source some I-beams. I think I'm just going to roll with the I-beam idea. I like it. My wife likes it. But I was taking some measurements to see if I could swing the width, because the width of the I-beam is just slightly taller than what opening I have between the top plate of the walls and the underside of the current floor joist. So that's not a big deal as long as it's not like too much. And so anyway, I was able to source those, and they're literally like 8 minutes away from my house. All right. So it's crazy is these ceiling fans have, like, it's just dangling from the junction box just held up by the conduit, which was just held up in here, kind of by just the fact that they're all coming in together. So it's kind of crazy. So, but I'm gonna get this motor. Be careful not to. It shouldn't have power to the fan itself because the switch is off, but there's still wires in there. Like I said, obviously, just always good to be careful. Go. All right, so they've got this thing super electrical taped, because I've noticed that on these older homes, the fabric wires, the wire inside the conduit's obviously fine, but over the years of people messing with the wires in the junction box, the insulation, fabric insulation breaks down, or it's already broken down, and then when you mess with it, it just kind of will fall off, flake off. So I've noticed that they wrap tons of electrical wire around. This is the part where you start exposing stuff. Be extra careful just in case. If you're watching, like, share, and subscribe. We're on a road to 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, and 1 million. So you can jump in on the journey now at the beginning, and you'll be along for the ride. And the other day I was watching I was already subscribed to this guy's kind of like a political type YouTube channel. This is the black wire, so potentially hot. So don't touch just in case. Anyway, all of a sudden his channel like doubled in size. He already had like 3 million subscribers, and it just doubled over like a fairly short period of time. And it was just kind of crazy. I was like getting on every day and like seeing if he'd have more. Every time I'd get on, he'd have 10,000 more subscribers. It was wild. Okay. So I'm going to recap these just so the tip of the wire is not fully exposed. And then I'll go get electrical tape. I forgot to bring it in here. And I'll cap and tape all these off with wire nuts. Just like I said, to be extra careful. And I'm gonna go ahead and rewire all this. Should be able to fit Romex through this old conduit. Okay. Remove this. Dusty. All right. Got any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Said I didn't turn the breaker off. I'm just being extra careful with this wiring. So, you know, it's one of those things you have to just kind of know your own limitations. So it's just a DIY channel. I'm not telling you what to do or not to do. You're gonna have to figure that out on your own. I'm just here to show you what I'm doing. So, kind of checking out the wiring system on this thing. I've never looked at it. So this was my ceiling fan, and this is my hot wires here. I'm grabbing the electrical tape portion. I said that insulation on these old wires, I can already tell it's like breaking down in the bends and the corners where it's elbowed in. So you've got to be careful. And then the other thing too is you start moving this around too much, the wires are touching, they're already close to each other. So they'll, you know, the insulation can break down and the wire can touch. A lot of wires in here. Just trying to slightly move it, see where the wires are. So, but at some point, I'm gonna go ahead and strap this up because I'm gonna pull these ceiling joists out of the way, or these ceiling straps, so that I can easily install my I-beams and get the load transferred down to the bottom footings, and then make sure the footings are fully supported underneath there, because it will be carrying the weight of the ceiling. Which honestly, it's just the center of the ceiling. It's not like it's an exterior wall or anything. So it's just going to be carrying the load of the room and keep it super solid. Because like I said in the previous video, it's a 1/4 inch sagged, and then it trampolines on, you know, further beyond that point if you get up there and jump around and do stuff. So I want to eliminate all of that while I have this all exposed. So, but I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Help us get to that 500 subscriber mark. I'm doing all this type of DIY stuff, indoor, outdoor, farmhouse, property related, everything that we've got going on out here. So you'll learn stuff. You'll see cool stuff. You can ask me questions on what I'm doing. And I can at least at minimum get you pointed in the right direction on something. I am not subject to any particular codes, like as far as like, I don't have to go through inspections or anything like that out here. I just try to do things the right way anyway, you know, and if I don't and I find out I didn't, I'll redo it. So, all right, I'm going to go get some electrical tape and tape this up. I'm probably going to go ahead and end the live here. I just wanted to kind of film that a little bit and kind of just talk while I was doing it. Maybe somebody learned something or just enjoy kind of watching for the day. So, but like I said, I appreciate everybody. Until the next live, I'll see you. Bigfoot out.